Hi guys, welcome back to Busy Programmer. We will continue with the make request activity today. In the last part, we picked the image and set it as an image for our image view. Now we are going to modify our code and write some new code to actually upload this image and also upload our message into a database table. We will also obviously create the database table first. So now let's start coding. So this was our submit button and this was happening, but before that we were doing choose image text, and on clicking on that we were just picking up the image. So this will work if you just want to set an image for an image view, but this is not all what you have to do for uploading an image. You need to have the permission to use that image and upload that image. For that we need to ask for permissions after Android M, which is Android Marshmallow. We have to ask for permissions during runtime, and we can't just add that permission into a manifest file and forget about it. So in your manifest file you will have to add this line, which is users permission android colon name android dot permission dot read external storage. So after adding this you also have to add some code here. We will simply create a permission function that will handle this thing. So if okay, so see what I'm doing here. I'm checking if permission checker dot check self permission. This is a way where you can check if you have some permission in an app or not. So check self permission. First thing you pass is context, so I'm passing get application context. You can also pass this here also. Then I'm passing the name of the permission, that is read external storage. It's all in caps and separated by these underscores, so make sure you type the spelling correctly, and you will have to import this. Then you're checking if it doesn't equals to permission checker dot permission granted, which means that the permission hasn't been granted. So for that you need to, now to request permission we are going to call a function that every activities has. It's request permissions. It takes a string array, so we are going to create a string array, and in this we will write read external storage, and the next parameter is going to be the request code. So it's similar to this thing. Now we can give it a request code something like this. I'm just going to give it for 1, and if the permission is there, is already there, asking for permission. So now I want to write this code inside some other function because I want to call it 2 times. First if the permission is already there, and when I get the permission. So I'm going to create another function here. Pick image, very simple, and I'm going to just pass this here, and here I'm going to call this permission function, because this will first check if the permission is there, and if the permission is there Then we can simply call pick image, and if it's not there, we have to first check, we have to first get the permission, and then we are going to do that, because we want to upload this image and we want the real path in the storage location where this image is situated, and that can't be get by this simply this so we need external storage permission, otherwise we won't be able to upload the image, in short. So we are going to override a method on permission, on request permission result. So let it be super first, and if request code equals 401, and if result if grant results 0 equals to permission. I want to write this thing, I'm just going to copy from here, permission granted, and that's all. So permission was granted, else I'm going to write permission not granted, and I'm going to show a message that permission declined. Now I'm going to pick image here because we have the permission. So this will make sure that we get the image in proper way, so we can upload the image. And next up, I want to change this a bit. I don't want an upload image function as separate thing. I'm going to upload it with the message itself, so we don't have to request the server twice, and we can just pass the image at once. So now for this part, particularly because we are uploading an image, a file, I'm going to use another library and not Volley, because Volley can upload definitely an image, but I find it quite complicated, and also there's no listener for it. By listener, I mean you can't check the progress of an image, and you can't have a progress bar depicting that a file has been uploaded 50% or 60% and things like that. So it's not very advanced way of uploading an image. There's no pause functionality or stop functionality like that, and what is meant to be a simple HTTP library. So for that, I'm going to use this library. It's called Fast Android Networking, and as you can see, it has almost 4.7k stars on GitHub, so it's quite popular among people, and it's based on OK HTTP, and it's very good library. So I will show you how to use this library, and you can use it everywhere else also. It provides everything like get and post requests along with file upload. So for using this library, we just have to copy this and paste it in our app level build.gradle. Here I have already done that, and if you will paste it here, you will get something like sync again, and then you will be able to use this library. So it requires internet permission obviously, and you need to have this part of code in your on create method to initialize this library. So we are just going to copy that, and we are going to paste it here. Right after send content view, we are going to paste it. Now we can simply use this library to upload our image. You will see why I'm using this library over volley because how simple it is and how easy and fun it's going to be. Fun it will be to upload an image. So uploading a file to server, this is the part of code that you need to write. So no creating singleton and things like that. You just need this, and we will copy it and paste it here. Now we need to import these things. And as you can see, we have a upload progress listener, which I was telling you about, that we need this kind of thing to be able to show some progress and track down that progress. I'm going to import these things, and yes, actually I'm going to change this part. I don't want the response as JSON. I just want get response as just a second. Done. So yeah, that's fine. And here we need a file. So for file, I'm going to do new file, and I'm going to use I need path. So for image path, okay, it's time to import some new code that we need. So to get the real path of any document, we are going to use some path utils. So I will link this path.util.java in the description box. Please check it out and just copy the entire code, and in your make request activity, come to the end, leaving this closing bracket, and just paste it here. The entire code like this, and you will have to import some things obviously. So this code is going to decide what will be the path of your document or an image file that is stored in your external storage. So we are going to call this get path function to actually get the path. So it's very simple. I am going to pass new file get path, and it will be image URI. Okay, we also need to handle this so I'm going to write try catch URI syntax exception show message wrong URI, something like that. And in try we are going to set path equals to get path image URI, and from here we are just going to pass path. That's all. Correct. And URL we need to pass the something from endpoint. So I'm going to make a new URL here. Base URL plus something. We will rename this thing, and Here I'm going to pass endpoints dot upload request. So this should work fine, and we will see what to do with progress also. So let me just create a variable for that and so here I'm doing very simple thing. I'm dividing the bytes uploaded by total number of bytes and multiplying it with 100 to give us the progress percentage, and we can show it in some text view or using some progress bar. We will decide on it later. For now, I'm going to leave it like this, and with response I just want to show it as a message for now. And if error happens, we want to show a message. Okay, so this looks fine to me. It can't be null anyways, so yes. Now we need to write also, yes, one more thing. Let's add it right away. Remove this thing and name it as file. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. And now yes, one more thing I forgot. So we want to add a query parameter that is going to be message, and it will be message here also. So these two things we want to upload. One more thing I guess we need is the user ID, which user is uploading this thing. For that we have to go here in your main activity file, sorry, your login activity file, because this is where we have the number, the mobile number, which is kind of a user ID for us. So we are going to save it first and use it later. So shared preferences are going to be used here to store some data. For example, we need to store here the mobile number by which we can identify each user individually, and for that we are going to use shared preferences. And in Android X we can't use directly preference manager because that has been deprecated. So we need to import a new library, Android X preference 1.1.0. So you need to write this line in your Gradle sync and just sync that. It should take a while and will be done soon. Okay, so now we can use the preference manager to store some string data. Preference manager dot get default shared preferences. We have to pass here context, so I'm going to say get application context dot get dot put edits put string, and first thing is going to be the key. Here I'll just call it number and I'll pass number here. Okay, so see what I have done. In preference manager, the default shared preferences, first parameter is going to be get application context. We are editing the preferences and we are putting a new string with a key number and the value as number, which is this number. And at last we need to apply this. So this will commit this new change in the shared preference file. So shared preferences file are permanent files saved on your mobile device, and if you turn off the application, if you even restart the phone, it's going to have these values. And yeah, so this way, even when you turn off the application and you restart the application, you are going to have these values saved. And it's a better way to store some data rather than having static values and having them making them public in classes. Like I can make a new variable here, call it public static mobile number, and I'm going to have it assigned this, and then I can use it, but that's not the correct way. Now let's use it here. We need to pass another query parameter with it. Add query parameter, it's going to be number, and I'm going to pass number here. So now number is not available, so we'll just say we'll create this preference manager dot get default get application context, and I'm going to say get string. First thing is going to be key, and second thing is going to be what if the number is not found. So I'm going to enter 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, that's all. So if there's no number in the shared preferences, then we will get 1 2 3 4 5 as number, so no null, and we are passing these things as a query parameter. So you'll receive them on your PHP script, whatever we are going to write now, into a get array. So yes, that's how it's going to work. So this much looks fine to me. Now we can start writing. Okay, let's first just create a database, because we need to have a database table, so it will be very easy for us to understand what parameters we need to store. So in your database manager here, manage first PHP MyApp. And those who were getting some issues with 00webhost.com, they can find some other PHP hosting which are free to use. There's no limitation on, no condition on what host you're using. Just the thing is, you have to have a server on a different place, a remote server, because that's the only way you can use an application like this, where you have to have multiple users who are using it. Hence, if you make use of a local host server which is just in your network or on your PC, then that won't work very well for other users, as they won't be able to use they won't be able to see posts from other users, because they will be saving that data in their local host. Or for example, you're using some guy was saying in comments that can I use SQLite. So for that I would say that would not be a great idea, because only you will be able to upload data to that database and others won't be able to see that. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. And yes, now we will save this. We will create a new database table. Table name, we are going to call it requests. This will look fine, or no, we can just call it post. First thing we will have is id of integer type, and it's going to be of auto increment type, so making it a primary key. Hence we will be able to update, delete, and do all kinds of stuff with it easily. First thing is going to be message. This is a text data type, and then we have url. URL will be of the image, and just say text also, so this way it's fine. Yeah, and then we need number. Number is going to be also text, and we are going to say save. So now we will come to our file manager. Let me just close the php and as you can see, I already have a file ready at my GitHub, which is very basic standard file upload code for PHP. We are going to use this, and we are also receiving some parameters in a get. So we are going to modify this, and this should just upload a file and also save the data that we want to. So I'm going to copy this, and here, while the file manager is opening, just wait a second. Also guys, I want to tell you one thing, that when you watch a video, please consider liking, and also put some comments in the comment box, whether you like it or not. Anything that you want to say, just post in the comment box. That's the way my video will be promoted more, and more people will be able to see it, because that's how YouTube works. And yes, that will also mean that I will upload more videos frequently. So yes, I want to see some more engagement from you guys, and I hope you're liking the videos and this is very helpful for you, as this is not going to be the last project I have made, and I'm going to make multiple projects in future. So if you think that I am doing something good, and these videos can be helpful for others as well, and also you want to see more and more videos, then please consider liking the videos. And if you're watching without subscribing, please consider subscribing. And yes, in your file manager, click on new file. We are going to say upload request.php. I'm going to copy it first, because we need to have here in endpoints, I want to write it here. Okay, now we will create this file. Okay, it logged us out of the session, because I guess I changed the window, which is cool, but okay. Sorry for the torture guys, this is like really ridiculous using this particular website for hosting. It just has some things which are not very good. Okay, so new file, create. copy it again and let's start editing. So we pasted the code. Okay, yes, we pasted the code and now it's ready. So you can see very simple code, and here we have the success code. If the file is uploaded, this if condition is executed, else it's false, not uploaded, error while uploading, or missing field or anything like that. So if there's no file, it's going to say missing field. So we'll just say, and also we'll make sure that a user uploads an image every time, otherwise it won't be very good for us. And to do some database query, we need to import some file. If you remember, we created init.php. So yes, and we have a message in get array, and we have a number also in get array. Now we can write some query, insert into post, and we want to insert message and number. Those are the two things I want to insert. Everything else I guess had default value. For the ID we did auto increment, so that's fine. And MySQL query, and we'll say SQL and connection variable. Yes, that should be fine, and we forgot to add a semicolon. So after doing that, you should be able to, let me just zoom in for you guys, so you'll be able to see what I've written here. So I added this part, then I added this part. So this will execute a query and insert these posts into that new table we just created. Reset this zoom, and I'm going to first copy this because we know this can log us out, and I'm going to press save. Let's hope it saves in one go. Okay, it did. Very nice. And yes, this is fine. Here we also have this add query parameter, message number, file. Okay, it looks fine to me. One thing I want to change is valid function, because now we are making compulsory to upload images. So I'm going to say if else if image URI equals to null, then show message image pick image, and return false. And with the progress, I would like to choose image text, set text. Let's just save it as progress. Okay, so string dot value of progress, we are going to save it as choose image text, and while it's happening, I don't want anything to happen on choose image text on clicking on this choose image text. So just I'm going to set on click listener as null, so this will stop any misdoing. And here after result, we are showing choose image text set on click listener, new on click listener. Again we will check if there's permission. Fine, so I'm satisfied so far with what we have done, so I'll just run this application. Okay, there's one error. Yeah, semicolon was missing. Okay, so I'm satisfied so far with what we have done, and I'm going to run this application and test it out and see if it works as expected. So as you saw in the app, first we had 0, then we got 100, and at the end we received a message saying uploaded, something like that. It wasn't very readable, but we got something like uploaded. So let's see if we got some data in our database, which is the main thing. So we didn't get the message here, and there's nothing in this database. So I suppose I have to open this file manager again also, because the session would have expired. Okay, so I did a stupid mistake. I passed the SQL variable first and not the connection variable. So just switch the positions of connection in SQL and save and close. Okay, so back to the application. Alright, so we are going to just press post request again. 0, as you can see. I'm not sure why it's not updating the byte values in between. Okay, it says message uploaded, so that's more readable, and you can understand what we were getting before was something like a warning or an error. So now we can check if our database has the values or not. So it's loading, but it doesn't have the data. I see. Okay, this is strange. Okay, that worked. Coming back to the application again and pressing post request. We get uploaded, so the file is uploaded. And let's see, get data in this database. Okay, so first it was not updated, but we already had that data. So that query, I guess, took some more time to execute and we didn't get the data right away. That's why, as you can see, we have m okay, sorry, my mistake. We have this data here and a new query worked. So the reason was it was not covered in single quotes, I guess. And right now for URL I'm just passing m, but we can change it and we have to change it. Obviously it's going to be mm, okay, let's just do one more thing. First find out what is target file name. You don't have to write all these things, I'm just going to test it out so that you don't have to. Okay, so remember, first thing is target file name, second is files. So I'm going to save it again. Hopefully this won't create any problem. We are still in session. Okay, it's saved. I'm going to again press post request. Again, it's going to take some time to upload the image. Yes, it's 100%. And oh, I missed the echo. I didn't see it. And what's the message? Okay, so this is giving us the right name. So we are going to call it URL equals to, this is how you append strings. You just add that and we are going to copy the base URL from here. Base URL is here and that's all. and I'm going to replace this M with star URL, dollar URL, and this will give us the URL on web, and I don't want the PR here. Okay, this is fine, and this will save the URL here. Just save it, and coming back to database, I want to delete all the previous entries. Check all and delete. Yes. And in our application, I'm going to press post request. And waiting for the image to upload. It's uploaded, and we get the data here, and you can see this. I'm going to double click on it, and you can copy it, and you can paste it in the browser to see if we get the image. And yes, we are getting an image. As you can see, it's loading it, so it's taking some time, but your image is uploaded in perfectly fine quality. So I'm going to cancel that and this. So we are obviously posting this image and it works. The make request part works. So let's just finalize this. And I don't want the response as string anymore. I want it as JSON object. JSON object request listener response dot get string get boolean. I would say boolean success. Why is it saying? Okay, just handle this. If it's success, then I'm going to finish this make request activity. Else I'm going to show a message. Response dot get string message. So this is fine, and let me just brief you about what I have done here. So our upload file is returning a JSON object rather than just a string. So if you say get as JSON object, it's automatically going to cast that string as a JSON object, and now you can get values out of it. I'm getting get boolean out of it on success key, and if it's a true value, this is true, then this request I want to finish it, and I'm going to show a message that successful, and else I'm going to show a message which is written in this response. So this is another way to get responses from your server as a JSON object. So now I'm going to quickly run this application and test it once again with a different image. And also one more thing I want to do. Yes, here I just don't want it to be like this. I want it to have a percentage sign at the end, so it doesn't say this. just 100. It should say percentage plus.